Hello from the SciCraft server. So in the last episode we started building on the dirt farm. We built up this storage here for gravel, which is by now filled. And I also built the dirt storage in between the episodes and made this little room here. So it kind of looks quite nice. It's a little bit moody, but it's no problem at all. Since we have the Schalke mob switch, there's no mob spawning here, so we can build even dark rooms now. So that's the plan. Here's the gravel stored. Here's the storage for dirt, and over there is the storage for the coarse dirt. So next we still gotta build the actual dirt farm, and it's an AFK farm. So what are we gonna do? We have a hoe in the main hand and a coarse dirt block on the off hand. So if I hold down right click now, I would first place the dirt, then use a hoe in it, and before it would turn into farmland, I want to push it out. So just have to time it right, and then just get the normal dirt, but not the farmland. And that's more or less the plan for the dirt farm. So let's build the farm. So the plan is to AFK right here. Then here we have a dropper. Whenever I place coarse dirt, this should resupply me with a new one. And this dropper also feeds into it. And on the right we have another dropper that gives me a new hoe from time to time. Of course, we have the mending enchantment on the hoe. If we would have a source of XP, we could just repair the same hoe over and over, but for example, a spawner wouldn't yield enough XP to keep it repaired. So we place the dirt too fast and hoe it. So we would need to build it near an enderman farm or a zombie pigman XP farm, but I guess it's too much effort. If we put in a few hoes in this dispenser here, and every 40 or 50 minutes dispense a new hoe to us, this should be fine. I mean, I probably don't want to AFK longer than 8 hours in one go, so it should be fine this way. So here we need a piston that pushes out the dirt block, and we also need a block update detector that detects the placed dirt. So let's use those slime blocks, scaffolding blocks, and then we just build the normal slime block butt. And this piston here pushes it back because I use a normal piston here. Because if you would use a sticky piston here, it would retract the slime block again, and then it would trigger twice when the block gets pushed out. That's why I use a normal piston. And get some building blocks. Okay. So here we take the output, redstone dust, and we need to power this piston here and also those two droppers. So we just go in here with a repeater, put it on 2 ticks. Now let's connect it with the dust. And here we need a little more delay, 2 ticks, and then it should be timed perfectly. So here we use just a redstone dot to power this piston, and it should already work fine. So let's try it out. Here we have some coarse dirt here as well. So let's see. And you got stuck. What happened? Oh, I placed a dirt block through the piston. Okay. So what happens here? The piston turns into block 36, and I could place dirt block through the piston. So I guess if I just aim at this piston here, that should work. Let's see. Okay, but I really want to aim at this one here, so maybe I use a different bot. I have to think about this. Okay, I fixed the problem. The easiest solution is just to move away. So if I stand here, I can't place a block against the slime block when it's in the position of the redstone block now, because I'm just too far away. So this should work fine. Now I can AFK in this position here. Of course, I need to make sure that I don't place a block directly in front of it, so placing a trapdoor at this block here should be fine. So at the moment, enemy is AFKing at a quite laggy farm, and so that's why the farm doesn't work perfectly. This farm only works best at 20 TPS, which we normally have when I AFK. So at the moment the game just runs at about 16 TPS, so sometimes it could happen that we get a farmland now. So that's always an issue if you combine these client inputs and the server-side timings, but at 20 TPS it should be timed perfectly. Okay, so that's the maximum reach. And after that we build another block update detector. So again, just a piston, a slime block in front. Here's a additional block, and on top a redstone block. And I would like to have this instant, that's why I use redstone block here. Okay, this is a normal piston, yeah. So the plan is, once this piston activates, the obstacle of the slime block is pushed out of the way and this redstone turns on immediately. And here I'm gonna build up a piston wall that pushes out the dirt blocks, so I can start placing new blocks again. So I put in another block update detector, and we really want to push out the dirt as fast as possible. That's why I use an instant block update detector now. Once this piston activates, the slime block is moved out of the way, and this redstone line would turn on instantly. And then this piston updates the block update detector a second time, so the piston knows that it's no longer powered and immediately retracts again. So this happens. Okay. And this is a sticky piston, but he would push the blocks away. That's why we need to push them back manually. Not manually, with another piston. Okay, because sticky piston loses the block. Okay, and now it should look fine. Okay, now we can stand at the AFK spot, get some dirt again. And it's pushed up, and then we could push in the next ones. And now the plan is to push those blocks to the side. So I want a 4 high piston wall, which is 9 wide, and we can easily take out, so that's 9 by 4, that's 36 by 3, 108 blocks with 1 TNT. And we don't run into any trouble. So build up the piston wall here and put in another block update detector, and every 4th time dirt is pushed up, this one would activate, and this should activate the TNT dispenser. But not every time, just every 3rd time this piston wall pushes. But now we have another problem. TNT takes 4 seconds to detonate, and the trick to using TNT to break blocks is break the blocks while they're moving, because while they're block 36 they have a lower blast resistance, and they also drop 100% of the blocks, and this way we don't lose any dirt block. So since I don't really know before when this will happen, so when the dirt arrives here, I more or less have to wait 4 seconds until I push here. So that's why I need to put in some delay. And let's do this. So first of all, I need this, again, instant block update detector, so the signal starts instantly, but I also have to cut it, so I get a short pulse. Otherwise it would be activated for 4 seconds longer, and really don't want that. And here we use another sticky piston with a block in front, and this will cut the signal here. I also changed out the piston here, so instead of using a sticky piston, I use a normal piston, and the reason is I don't want this to be activated twice. So it would activate first once the dirt arrives here, but also the extending of this piston here would also activate it once more, and I don't want that. That's why I use a normal piston again and push the whole stuff back with another piston here. So now let's add the delay. So here we need a repeater and some normal blocks. And here I want to make a fader circuit. So some comparators. This would take 3 seconds before it turns off. And then just gonna add a torch here in the back. So I ran out of building blocks. Let me quickly grab some more building blocks. Okay, got more building blocks. I hope it's not too dark for you. I always try to put some light sources so you can see. So I don't want this to be turned on all the time. That's why I just add another monostable here. And also put in repeater on 4 ticks. And we want to send the piston back after a little bit of delay. So we put in another repeater here. And let me quickly check how much delay I need. Alright, and I here need 3 more ticks of delay. So what happens here is that I activate those pistons first, and then I push the part of the block of the detector back, so those pistons don't activate this one here, and once they've retracted, this one is active again. Okay, now let's check it out. I just need to place down 1 more block, and now it's pushed up, and then it takes about 5 seconds before it's pushed out. Okay, we also need to activate the TNT, and this should be done as quickly as possible. So here we just go up, but we need a counter in between. So let's do a quite simple dropper counter. So dispenser, we have a dropper. This one faces up, this one to the side, and this one the additional dropper again. And now we just need to put down a hopper here, so it goes down. Here we put dust on top. Here we have repeater, which powers a block, and this one updates the dropper here. I built a non-locational counter to 3 here. So it works like this. We have an item in this bottom dropper here. The dropper at the top activates before the one at the bottom. So that's, and then this one activates here. And since this is already powered, we can't shoot it into the next hopper. So let's check it out, how it runs. And then it's in here, so we have a counter to 2. But what could happen here, so I activate it once more, it's in the bottom dropper here. If we would, for example, try something like this, then it could happen that the dropper on the left here activates before the bottom dropper on the right, and the item would go straight from this one into this one here, and then basically have a counter to 2. And in order to combat the problem in other locations, I do it like this. So the rail always updates the block below it, and that's why this dropper here is also activated, and we have a counter to 3 which works in every location. So 1, 2, and 3. It's back at the start. Okay, now we just need to take an output from this dropper here, and this should power the dispenser. So I want to build it right here, so now we need a downwards facing dispenser. Some more scaffolding blocks. Dispenser, alright. Also, since it's a little bit further away, we need single strength 2 instead of having the dirt item in there. Let's do a non-stackable item with a higher single strength so it reaches. And I also want to build some blocks around the dispenser, so TNT is a little bit guided. So I built some guidance blocks around the drop chute. So there's always this little randomness how the TNT comes out, and this should make sure that the TNT falls straight down. So, and down there, the TNT should just land on this obsidian block, and it's approximately in the middle of this 4x9, and this should take out most of the blocks, so yeah, all of them. And I didn't use a TNT duper here, since we have enough TNT in the server. So with a single double chest we could already get 350,000 dirt blocks out of it. And yeah, that's finally a reason for our sand duper, and we have a really good gunpowder farm, multiple ones. So I don't need a TNT duper here. Now I need to place down one more block to start the explosion, so let's see if I did everything right with the timing. And it looked good, took out almost all of the blocks. And we got a lot of them back, so I'm quite sure it worked. Okay, now yeah, of course we need to collect the blocks, so I'm gonna add some ice stream here. Okay, so the water stream is in. So now we still gotta work on one problem, the hose, to get new hose. Guess the plan is to put the item away into an item frame right here. So if I hold right click here, then I would also put it away like this. And then I need to be moved back in this position here, and the hoe is shut out by a dispenser, so I can place down a new hoe. So I would say let's put in a double piston extender here that pushes me over, and also on the other side that pushes me back. And I think about sitting in a minecart, since moving the player with pistons isn't reliable, but if I would sit in a minecart, that's 100% reliable, so I can be sure the AFK attempt doesn't fail. And yeah, just need to place blocks here. I could do that in a minecart easily. Alright. So the dispenser that shoots out the items goes in here. I'm gonna fill it up with some arrows, so that's more than enough. I also prefer arrows because they are more accurate than snowballs, and yeah, you can transport them more easily. So the hose will be collected by a hopper and put in this chest here. So that's where the used up hose go. Then I could also add another hopper right here and a double chest, so I can fill up this dropper here with enough hose. And now we need to add some sort of a counter, because I can't detect when the hoe is about to break. So a hoe has 1561 uses, and with the Unbreaking 3 enchantment there's just a 25% chance that I would use up a durability point. So in total I would have about 6200 uses. I guess if I do a counter that counts to 5400 and take out the hoe, then I'm super safe, because the 25% chance is a little bit random, so there's just a 1 in 4 chance that the durability point is used. So in theory, even with the Unbreaking 3 enchantment, the hoe could be broken after 1562 uses, but it's so unlikely, of course, so I think 5400 should be fine. This piston wall is already activated every 36 blocks or uses of the hoe, so I'll just add a counter here that counts to 150. So I've added the counter. It works like this. So we have a pair of droppers that face into each other, and the pair of hoppers is more or less our snore latch. So when I activate both those droppers, one of them is always deactivated. So now the items get shot over there. And now the direction switches. Now this one is blocked and the items are shot back. So now I just put 3 in there. So to count to 150, I'll just put in 75 later. And after that, I activate another monostable, because I need a certain signal length afterwards. So that's just a normal dropper hopper monostable. So the next plan is to activate this double piston extender here, but I want to add in another safety. I don't want to have any dirt block lying around here. So this dropper here should always give me a new coarse dirt, whenever I place one. And if I would push the player out of the way before this dropper gets activated, then I would have a coarse dirt lying around here. And I don't want that, because afterwards I could pick up the coarse dirt and have it in my main hand. So I'm gonna put in a block here that gets pushed down. So before this piston extender extends, this block is pushed down, so I can't place down a new dirt block, and yeah, it's basically made sure that I picked up the last dirt block. So I just need a sticky piston at the top here, and this should be activated before the double piston extender. Time for another test. I also put down a carpet here, because the item frame wouldn't prevent me from placing down a block, since it's an entity, but the carpet does, so I can't place a block where a carpet already is. And it's nice because the carpet doesn't collide with the item frame, so it doesn't pop off. If I would try to use a slab or a trapdoor, then the item frame would pop off. But let's do a short test. Just have to place down a few more blocks, and let's see if it works. Okay, the block goes down, I put in the hoe to the item frame, get pushed back, get a new hoe, and then I could start placing dirt again. And the hoe also got shot out by the dispenser and lands in here. Nice, so it works fine. So the farm is more or less done. I just have to hook up the water stream to the storage system and do a little bit of testing. Maybe if I find issues, so definitely lag spikes could potentially break this farm. Also have to build some blocks around it so it looks a bit nicer. So it's closed off so the mob could walk in here. But I guess, yeah, I'm mostly done and I'm doing a test now. Okay, it's several hours later. By now the farm works reliably, but I had to make a little change. Instead of using the butt here, I'm using a clock, and this would also work fine. So the lag spike here, so yeah, those lag spikes were the issue why it wasn't working reliably. If somebody would join the server or go through another portal, the game would always freeze for 1 or 2 seconds. And this time I could place the dirt, hoe it twice, and the blocker detector wouldn't react anymore. So the issue with the clock system here is that I don't want to have more coarse dirt than I place, and that's why I had to add a different system. Now I added another block update detector that detects when dirt is moved above it, then it shoots out an item, so as you can see here. Then yeah, enemy and methods also made another change. Sometimes because of a lag spike, a coarse dirt could get in there, and they added a little filter here. So this is the item elevator of the collected dirt, and here they added a filter, so they filter out coarse dirt, and it goes back to the coarse dirt storage. So this way you have a clean storage, and the coarse dirt could be recycled. So in total I have about 6 double chests of coarse dirt now. I started with 1.5 chests of normal dirt, and yeah, we've quadrupled the dirt already. So it's now just a matter of time until we've enough dirt for our next bigger projects. If you're interested, we convert about 6,000 coarse dirt into dirt per hour, so it's definitely not faster than digging it, but since we can AFK and just have to do a little crafting, I think it's more efficient. Thanks a lot for watching, have a nice day, bye bye!